A lot of people in the community are talking about working the auction house to make coins, but not a lot of people actually show you how to do that. And that's why today I will share my tips and tricks of how I'm making coins as a no money spent player, so I can keep chasing pretty much every single card EA release and build a competitive team. When it comes to the auction house, there are two ways: flipping and buying low and selling high. If you are, let's say, close to the servers, obviously flipping will be the best way because you can instantly buy cards when someone is trying to sell them cheap. For someone like me who is very far from the servers and I'm in the Europe, the only way really how I can make coins is by investing. Obviously you will need some sort of coin balance to start doing this, because what I will show you and explain today, it's all about long-term investments. There is no any secret method outside of flipping and trying to get something cheap so you can instantly sell it for, let's say, double price. So let's assume you made yourself 100 or 200k coins. That's more than enough. No one was expecting then 78 overalls will suddenly get this expensive. You can basically now sell them for 3,200 coins. And in the last event, everyone was selling these cards for 1,100 or even putting them into exchange set. So if you want to invest in the lower overall cards, and I'm talking about, let's say, 78s to the 82s or maybe even 83s, you have to go to the sets and check which cards really don't have any use at the moment. If we go to the captain sets, everyone already made the captains, so the 83s are not that expensive anymore, and you can get them for 20k coins. Once they release the next set where, let's say, they need to trade in 83s, these cards will skyrocket in the price. And yes, you still can use them in captain sets, but like I said, majority of the player base already made their captains. So most likely these cards will not be needed for, let's say, another month or two, or let's say until season 2. So now it's a really good time to invest in 83s. So in my opinion, everything you can buy for no more than 20,000 coins is a good investment. Because let's just assume they release new captains and you need to trade in 84s. And if the captains start at, let's say, again 88, then I can tell you then these cards will go for minimum 30k coins. And I know a lot of people would say you need 83s for the beast mode event. Yes, but you don't need 84s, and that's why 84s are going for the same amount of coins as 83s at this point. And if you watch my previous videos about how I'm making coins, I was talking about selling consumables. I don't think it's as efficient anymore because it will take you now days to sell some of them. Obviously, if you can still snipe some of the European leagues, jerseys for example, for cheap, there always will be someone who wants to buy it. But I don't really recommend putting all your focus on consumables at this point. Instead of that, I suggest you invest. And one of the players I really would recommend you invest is this Sergei Fyodorov. Yes, we have the icon boost and now a lot of people are using him, but he's still one of the cheapest ones just because there is no any Detroit Red Wings or Russian lineup combinations. Same thing goes about the Chris Progner. Again, one of the cheapest. You can basically buy him for less than 90,000 coins. And if you think this is a stupid idea, let me explain why not. And Chris Chelios is a really good example. Before the Beast Mode event came out, I managed to buy myself around 5 Chris Chelios for around 75,000 coins. And as you can see, now you can instantly sell him for 150,000 coins just because there is a new lineup chemistry. I don't think that there is any more icons I would invest at this point. Chris Progner and Sergei Fyodorov would be the only ones I would even spend coins on. Also, at this point, it's cheaper to buy an 86 overall icon and just keep it in your collection when they will release the new icons in season 2, just in case you need any of them. And if you buy him for around 90k, I don't think you would lose any coins. Just because we saw the icon lineup combination, I have a feeling that the heroes also will receive one. And that's why look for any heroes cards going for very cheap. And yes, majority of us already have Jeremy Roenick, Naslund, Zdeno Chara, or even Blake, because I think these are like the community favorites. But once again, in my opinion, if you can get any of these icons for less than 45,000 coins, it's a really good investment. Because just imagine they release a sick lineup combination where you have to use one of the heroes card for, let's say, +6 or maybe even +8 overall boost. This Jeremy Roenick will straight away become the community's favorite. Just imagine you can actually boost this card all the way to the 90 overall. With Unstoppable, he would be incredible. So a lot of people will straight away go and make him or just buy the card tradable. I don't recommend going and buying any of the rookie cards because they're very expensive. It would be just cheaper to buy the cards you need to make any of them, but in that way you would not be able to really sell him because he would be untradeable, but you would be able to sell, let's say, the 81s. And the fact that the 81 overall cards are currently going for the same amount of coins as 79s is absolutely ridiculous. So yes, anything 7k, I am buying it, because if they release a set where you need 81s, these cards will go for at least 9,000 coins, and That's just an easy profit. Another thing I want to talk about. I know a lot of people are really angry that there are no NE packs. Because let's say you get this 78 plus, and yes, 78s are now selling for something, but let's assume we would not have any sets. You open this one and you get 378 overall cards, and you think, you know what, there is really no any use for them, and the only place I can use them is exchange set. That's actually wrong, and let me explain you why. Because EA all the time are releasing new lineup combinations, and we only have 1 million salary cap, everyone is looking for some salary or AP bonus lineup combinations. And that's why every single time you open a low overall pack, keep an eye for any NHL goalkeeper or any NHL alumni goalkeeper between 75 and 77 overall. Because otherwise you would just go into the exchange set, trade them all in, and potentially lose a lot of coins. Also, if you want to invest in goalkeepers, it's a really good method, and I suggest you go into the auction house, search between 75 and 77 overall goalkeepers, and let's start with NHL. You know that this 75 overall goalkeeper, Justus Anonen, goes for ridiculous amount of coins. And some people don't even realize that these cards are going for so much, because they see 75, they get angry, trade him in, and forget about it. Also, the Chicago Blackhawks goalkeeper at 77 overall goes for ridiculous amount of coins. 65,000 for a 77 overall. Coin-wise, this may be close to your best pool of the year. Same thing for this goalkeeper. Yes, he's a little bit cheaper, but it's still 25,000 coins for a Minnesota Wild goalkeeper. And if you pair him up, let's say, with anyone from Colorado Avalanche, you get plus 5 million in the salary cap. And to prove that, I basically sold this 76 overall goalkeeper from Ottawa Senators or Finland for 40k this morning. And I'm also investing in goalkeepers, and I will show you how. Once again, I go back to the auction house, search between 75 and 77 overalls, and look for any goalkeepers without any lineup combinations. And you have to keep in mind that when they are releasing the salary or AP boosts, that will be for the defensemen. So when you are looking at goalkeepers to invest, keep in mind, does that team have a good, let's say, defenseman EA could release, so people would want to make that defenseman for that, let's say, salary or AP boost. San Jose Sharp, how many good defensemen do they have or potentially could release? But nonetheless, you could potentially buy him and keep him in your collection just in case he goes for, let's say, 10k later on. Let's say in season 2 they release the Anaheim Duck defensive overall boost or AP boost or whatever. This goalkeeper also could be a good option. I bought one this morning for 2,300 coins, and now he's already going for 9. I don't think anyone would really buy him at this point, but those would be the goalkeepers I would invest. And also, the lower the overall for the goalkeeper, the more chances people will want to buy him. I would not spend more than 4,000k on a goalkeeper, because otherwise it might not really be an investment. But even this one, Philadelphia Flyers defenseman, if he receives an overall AP or salary boost, this goalkeeper may skyrocket in the price, and he's only 75 overall. So you know what? 4k, I will risk it, I will go and buy him, put him in my collection, and hope that in the future they will release something where this goalkeeper will be needed. And if I can make at least 10k profit from what I just spent, then I think that's a W. You can do the same thing for NHL alumni goalkeepers, and look for any team who don't currently have the defensive lineup combinations. I would not really pay attention to the overalls, because no one is really getting the goalkeepers to use for overall boost. Everyone is using for salary and also AP. And that's why I would look for someone from Florida Panthers, just in case they decide to make that Chell Weeks St. John's usable. Also Washington Capitals. I think spending anything below 4k is a reasonable price. And if I lower it to 3.5 thousand coins, then yes, you could get some of the decent ones. You could get this one, for example, which I will actually buy because he's very cheap, just in case. Again, I may be losing coins, but even if I am, I think it's worth trying, because there will be some cards I will win, some cards I will lose. And if I can guess right and sell him after for 40k, then hey, that's a W. Also, as I already explained, I cannot really snipe the cards because of my ping, so I am investing and getting ready for that next crazy lineup combination released by EA. So once again, I'm looking at all the teams currently having overall boosts, and I'm only paying attention to +3 and +2. Because let's be very honest, if they release some silly +1 overall lineup combination, no one would even chase it. And as you can see, we have not a single Russian, Minnesota Wild, Dallas Star, Florida Panthers, Nashville Predators, Canadian, and you basically name it. You can see which teams don't have any lineup combinations. That's why every week I spend around 200k coins on just investing and hoping that I will not lose out. And even if they will not release any crazy lineup combinations, I will probably be able to sell those players back, because there will be a set where you will need that sort of overall. The only investment you can really lose out is the goalkeepers, because I really doubt that they will release any sets where you can trade in 75s to 77s. So now let me show you the cards I'm investing and hoping for some crazy lineup combinations. I currently have 143 tradable cards. cards. And a lot of them are just 80s I sniped or 81s for cheaper, and then I will resell them. But when it comes to the NHL League, I decided I will go and buy few Kirill Kaprizov cards. And I bought every single one for 28,000 coins. I think it's a decent value for an 85, and no one is buying 85s at this point. Because can you just imagine they release a combination where you need Minnesota Wild and Russian? This Kirill Kaprizov will skyrocket in a price. Also, Jordan Kyrou, I don't know why, I have a feeling they will release some crazy lineup combinations before the season 1 will end, so I decided I will go and buy him as well. Matthew Boldy, American and also Minnesota Wild. I decided to go and buy 2 Juraj Slavkovsky because Montreal Canadian fans are just crazy. They will do everything so they can use him, and also he's one of the cheapest Team of the Week cards currently on the auction house. So once again, worst case scenario, I will lose a little bit of coins, but I will be able to sell him back. Sean Couturier, I didn't really bought him, I just cannot sell him because I bought him for one of the lineup combinations, so ignore that. Paraby, we don't have any lineup combinations for Calgary Flames, and at 84 he would be a really good card to sell after if they release one. I have one Philip Forsberg, Adam Lowry, just in case they release some Winnipeg Jets as well, Lucas Raymond, Sweden and Detroit Red Wings. I bought few Nick Suzuki's, Andrei Svechnikov because he's Russian and also from Hurricanes. Yes, we did have +1 overall boost, but I don't think that's enough. I think there will be much crazier boost for that team, we will see. Also Kirby Dach. As you can see, I'm trying to get as many Montreal Canadian players as I can because that player base will spend everything just to get those cards. Also this Yuri Kulich, Sabres don't have any lineup overall boost, and from Czechia, who knows. I also bought Dylan Larkin, and yes, I know a lot of people will probably go and try to get his Team of the Week, and I highly recommend you do if you just want it for your own team. I'm not talking just about the investments. Kirill Marchenko, I do have a feeling that this card will receive a lineup combination in the next few days, because if they release the Beast Mode Pens player, you can actually get +6 by using this card. And the rest is basically every card I sniped for cheap, just so I can keep them in my collection when the new big event will be released. I also try to buy the highest overall card from each PWHL team, because just in case they release that crazy lineup combination when the season starts, I can tell you, a lot of people will try to get this Sarah Nurse, or Marie-Philippe Poulin, or even Taylor Heisey. Worst case scenario again, I will just use it myself, or I will just sell it. I did not spend a lot of coins for any of these players. I did bought this 85 overall Sarah Nurse card for 25,000 coins. Like, that's an 85. It's a no-brainer if you see one on the auction house. So yes, look for any cards without any lineup combinations. If you have coins, invest, and then just sell these players, because you will be able to make instant profit. Everyone will try to get that crazy lineup combination day one. There is a lot of people in the community who have no patience, and that's when you sell everything, make a lot of coins, and work on your next investment. So before you rush and go into the exchange set to trade in every single 75, 76, and 77 overall player, always pay attention to the players you have. If it's a goalkeeper, don't trade him straight away in. If he's from NHL or NHL Alumni Leagues, there is a huge chance that you will be able to sell him later on. That's why we need a storage set. I want to be able to put my investments in one set just so I don't accidentally trade them in. But at least now we have the multi-select, so I don't have to autofill anymore. Okay guys, that will do for today's video. I think I covered everything how I'm investing and making coins. I will do these sort of videos every few weeks because the meta and things to invest keeps changing. And if you are someone who likes to work auction house same as I do, then make sure you like and subscribe to don't miss the next one. As always guys, I really appreciate you watching. Have a good one and see you on the ice.